2025 has seen a massive increase of meme coins flooding the market. The vast majority of them have been scams or rug pulls, but some creators are seeking to bring real value to communities by building around known intellectual property. Utile of Kikicat is doing precisely that with a cute cat that's been viewed over 11 billion times in GIFs. We'll discuss current news with him and how meme coins can be done right to nurture a positive community around meme coins. It's all here on episode number 765 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
Welcome to the Bad Crypto Podcast, the show for the crypto curious and the crypto serious. Where's Travis? Well, you're about to see him. We have started doing, in partnership with Mixi Media, live streams on X. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, you will find us on Mixi Media, links in the show notes and on this video version of the podcast. And this week, we've got our guest, Utile from Kikicat. And so, where's Travis? Well, let's go find him right now on this episode.
Very good.
Utile, one of the smartest dudes in the room right now. One of the three smartest dudes in the room right now. This room, the CEO of Kikicat Official, joining us for the news today and then to talk a little bit about the Kikicat story. Ian, what is the top news story that's on your mind right now? What did you read about this morning that you're like, oh, damn?
The top news story that's got me, oh, damn it. I'm not feeling no oh, damn right now.
No, oh, damn. Okay.
No oh, damn for me. There's been no oh, damn for me in the last 24 hours, but I'm emotionally calloused from 10 years in the industry.
That's good.
His soul is permanently scarred. So the thing that I'm seeing, and I was just talking about this with former producer Aaron this morning, is what TF is Dave Portnoy doing? I don't understand it. The dude is super successful, and now he's doing this pizza jam thing, which everybody seems to like. One bite, he actually takes like 5, but one bite. And then he goes and he gets into the meme coin and shitcoin creation, and it's not going well.
Well, it's going well for him.
Is it? Is
well,
it though?
I think it did okay. Well, here's the deal. So I think he first really got into it. What I saw was whenever Trump launched, and then he woke up that next day and said, oh, I'm going to put in $500,000 in Trump right now. And I don't remember exactly what it was sitting at, maybe 20-30 billion dollars. And it got up to 50 to 70 billion or something. Anyways, he turned 500K into 1.5 million, right? And then he pulled that out, and then he bet that all on the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl. So he's going to turn his million into 6.5 million. That didn't work. And so he got all pissed off about that. But since then, he's been jumping in on these meme coins. He had one called Jail Stool. There was like a jail narrative going on around different. So he's like Jail Barstool. Now, dude, you're right. Barstool sold their company for $450 million. Then, due to sports betting rules and whatnot, they couldn't do what they wanted to do, the company that bought them. So they sold Barstool back to Dave Portnoy for $1. So he made $450 million for nothing, got his company back essentially, right? And now he's doing these meme coins. Well, the other day he launched one called Greed, and he tweeted it on his personal account, and he said, I'm not going to rug this. I'm going to keep this for a while. And then less than an hour later, rugged it.
So that's it right there. You're saying, hey, he's winning, and that is a destroyer of credibility right there. That's what I don't understand.
Well, he participated in the Argentina Libra project that went live. And so, Javier Milei tweeted that out, right? So he was working with this group of people apparently behind the scenes. And this guy, Hayden Davis, was basically the one that's sort of managing it and connecting the dots and gave Dave Portnoy $5 million worth of these tokens. And then he said, but don't tell anybody I gave you these tokens. He disclosed that he was given these tokens and he gave them back. And so they bought in on his own. And then he lost $5 million in the rug pool. And then they gave him his money back. So he got refunded on his money, Dave Portnoy did. And so there's just a whole slew of craziness going on with the Argentina thing and the Dave Portnoy stuff. So it's just kind of wild. Are you familiar with any of that, Ian? Were you watching any of that?
I followed all of it. When I watch Dave in this arena that he decided to jump into, a lot of times I'm looking for things that he's saying, like the angst that he's trying to express around his disappointment that things don't go the way he's anticipating. And he explodes and gets angry at the internet and starts blaming everybody in meme world for gambling, which is exactly what people do in this industry. So a lot of times I'm watching these things and I'm trying to pick up the background psychology and understand how someone like Dave is processing this experience. Another example was the CoffeeZilla interview, the audio interview that happened with Hayden. You know, a lot of people listened to that interview and they were all about the wow moments, like he did this, he did that. What I was listening for is trying to pick up some of the cues that he was trying to say that many different people have tried to express. Now, I think Hayden's apparently he's a bad guy doing very bad things. So, but there's still things you can learn when a person's under pressure trying to do a PR thing and they start spewing out these things that people either haven't said or haven't articulated like that. So a lot of the times when these things go down, I'm just trying to pick up what's, what is this person experiencing, expressing, articulating that a lot of other people are either directly feeling or being impacted by, and what's the psychology that's at play here? If people were noble and if people had integrity and if they, if those were driving desires, if that was the North Star, then most of these really, really bad things would not happen. I think most people know that if they're playing in the meme coin environment, it's very volatile. SHIB went down 99% before it hit its all-time high. I think that's a really strong indicator how volatile this industry is. So very few people are coming in.
99% it went down?
99% before it hit its all-time high. Yeah. So, I think people understand you only are investing in this digital collectible that we call a meme, just as NFTs. And you're doing it with the hopefully money that you could lose. You're playing and having fun. But a lot of people don't approach it that way and they end up quite hurt. And a lot of the pain that's felt has to do with people doing things that are nefarious and
a lot of times they're not digital collectibles, they're digital etherics.
Yeah. Portnoy just retweeted this story that just broke from Watcher Guru. The SEC has launched cyber unit to combat cryptocurrency fraud. And this is great
that because that needs to happen, because these people who've been doing all this crap, and I tell you what, with tools like Bubble Maps and Helio and some of these other ones and all these sort of online on-chain sleuths that can go in and track, you can find these hubs of wallets that are going on and you can see, and then so much so that you can watch when certain wallets start accumulating from other wallets, something's about to go down, right? And it's just a matter of figuring out what's their play. How do you front run the cabals? That's what people are trying to figure out. But when you got these projects right here doing this stuff that is illegal and scamming countries, like $4 billion on that Argentina thing, and that made Javier Milei look pretty bad. Right?
And he's going to be investigated, and of course his opposition is going to try to impeach him. But can we talk about pet peeves? How is it, Watcher Guru, that in an age that spell check is built in to all of your blog software and AI, that you write the Cymber and Emerging Technologies Unit, CYMBER.
I think you're the only one that rages that anymore.
I see that, and I'm like, how in this era?
Well, because
is
they're trying to get it out super quick because this is breaking news, and so they're trying to go.
Yeah.
I think what
And that's
Travis,
not even a real word, so it's like it's not going to be.
there is
up.
no because though, Travis. This is the point that Joel's trying to make. There's no because. There's no excuse for things of this nature.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
He's old man.
2025.
He's that old Simpsons guy yelling at the sky.
Get off my lawn here. So meanwhile, we've also got Fidelity and BlackRock shifting to Ethereum. They have both been aggressively buying millions of Ethereum while selling off Bitcoin. And perhaps this is reflecting a shift in institutional interest. Ethereum, of course, has been lagging sorely. Solana has sucked all of the oxygen out of the room, and people are starting to wonder, hey, now that Solana is kind of down on FUD, and I do believe it's coming back. I think it's fear that maybe this is Ethereum's time to finally make a move for its all-time high, which is around 4,800, and then push beyond that. And, many of us have thought that 10K on this run is very feasible. And I'm starting to question, maybe we just pass all-time high by 1,000 or two, and that's it.
Yeah. But I mean, when you got big dogs like Fidelity and BlackRock saying, oh, look at this depressed asset, Ethereum, compared to the rest of the market, right? As you just said, Solana has just had some major negative shit being talked about them because of Libra and Dave Portnoy stuff and all these other rug pulls that are happening. Like the amount of rug pulls that happen on Solana is unlike any other ecosystem ever. It's like going into the back alley in New York City in the 1970s and thinking you're going to be safe. You know what I mean? Like it's not happening. And you're going to get ganked. And so, I think with Fidelity and BlackRock coming in and thunking it down on the table, they're buying millions of boy, that's a sign if I've ever seen one. Not financial advice, but I'd say, ooh,
This breaking from producer, apparently there's a rumor, and we'll just leave it as a rumor, that Hayden Davis, the person behind Kelsier Ventures that did the Libra token and the Melania token, may have unalived himself. And again, it's just it's a rumor. Who knows if it's fake news or not? And we hope that is not the case, because no matter how far you have fallen and how many mistakes you make, life is worth living, even if it's.
And I'm pretty sure he's got $300 million in his bank. His name is now Hadina DeVos, and he's living somewhere else.
And he is transitioning back from X to Twitter.
Yeah. So it's like Hadina DeVos, good luck to you in your new life. And
Hadina DeVos.
Well, my favorite show note that I've seen is that Kosh Patel reportedly has enough votes to confirm him as FBI
Let's
director.
go. I tell you,
very excited about that. That's a big win.
The deep state is shitting bricks, gigantic, massive. They're shitting bricks the size of the stones that were used to build the pyramids. Let's face it.
Wow. How do you even carry that inside your bowels?
Yeah, I don't know. But, Adam Schiff can do it.
It's dark magic, bro. That's what it is. It's dark magic.
I tell you what, I paid attention to a lot of stuff that Cash has said over the years. In the last administration, in the 4 years where they were not in administration, he is not a fan of any of the debauchery, right? And so that's really what I think has been missing is just, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. I just want you to have ethics and a good moral compass if you're running these things. And most of them don't. Right. And then when you start seeing stuff like with the USAID or the USAID, however they're saying it, some people say USAID, some people say USAID. I think it's USAIDs, really, when it comes to how much money's being poured into everything. It's just the ones who scream the loudest are the ones that are trying to get the come up the biggest, typically. Right. And you can tell when you watch these senators. I mean, if you know anything about nonverbals, right, and you can see what's going on, they're blinking and they're like looking back and forth, and it's just a little crazy.
Right. I want to see real results from this FBI. I want to see people made example of. I want to see investigations into how, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Like Democrats are like, Republicans are going to get found out too. And I'm like, yes,
That's right.
yes, please. If
Exactly
you're
what we all
corrupt,
want.
if on a 6-figure congressional salary, you are worth $130 million, we need to know, where did that come from? If money has disappeared going to Ukraine and there are kickbacks involved, we need to know who's pocketing that money. If the FBI was involved in the January 6th insurrection, we need to know who's responsible for that, hold people accountable. I want to see investigations. I want to see indictments. I want to see perp walks. I want to see people made example. Let's clean this up and make our justice system great again. What do you think, Ian?
I think this is the only reason to have a centralized institution like a federal government, is so that when you're dealing with things in the trillions of dollars, you're dealing with hundreds of millions of lives and billions of lives being impacted. That's the one reason to have centralization, so that you can hold people accountable, so that there is fear of justice, so that people do what is right, if not by moral compass, then by the potential of consequences. And so what's strange to me is there's so many crazy, corrupt things that happen in decentralized world, and we're red flagging and calling people out before we even know what's going on and throwing stones. And it's like, we're in decentralized wild, wild west. This is what happens in this environment. You have to be careful. But then in the centralized world of big governments, it's like lots of people are like, oh no, don't look, don't talk. Just, it's okay. Let's just keep things as they are. And I think, well, that's the reason why you have a centralized institution, is for accountability, consequences against bad behavior, and ensuring that the amount of money and the amount of people that are impacted are as protected as they can be. So I would like to see justice, at least a sense of justice can be served. I'm more of a grace guy than a justice guy. I don't want to suffer every consequence I deserve in life. But when it comes to government employees, public servants, I think they need to be held to a high standard.
Absolutely. And looks like it's going to happen. This news breaking too, you guys will be interested to know that, Mark Cuban was talking about maybe launching a meme coin, and now he's kind of like, never mind, which is probably the smartest thing he's done in years.
Right. Well, there's so much going on. I mean, Kanye just did something, right? Didn't Kanye do? Was launching a token or something?
I think there's talks about him doing it, rumors, but I don't think it's happened. If it happened, you would know.
My God. He's probably considering it heavily because everybody's canceled him because of him and his Nazi shirts. And it's like
so weird.
He goes on. He has got a screw loose up there or something. I don't know what his point is. He's trying to do some weird shit, which is always weird. But when you go in and you look at this Hayden Davis guy and how they launched the Melania token a couple days after the Trump token, dumb. That should have never have happened. And apparently, like, Trump's kids didn't even know about some of that stuff was happening, right? So some of that stuff was unbeknownst to them. They were thinking about doing something on the World Liberty token kind of a thing. World Liberty token was very well thought out. They spent time and they said here. And then the Trump thing kind of dropped during the crypto ball that happened before the inauguration. And I was like, wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. Interesting. And then they launched the Melania thing. Like that, the Melania thing just made no sense. And you look and saw the website was registered the day of. They spent no time on that one at all. It siphoned all the liquidity away from Trump. Trump's now sitting at only 15 billion, I think, from the highs of 70-something billion.
Only.
So, well, I mean, if you're looking at it, I mean, the people lost money if they got in at 70 billion. Like that's a painful loss to them. They've lost
for sure
80+% of their money. And I think that all of these people launching these meme coins without any sort of repercussions is bad for the space. And it's made it look like it's just made it look icky.
Yeah. Well, wherever there's money, there's going to be bad actors. That's going to be an always and forever thing. There's the Trump coin right now from its peak of around $75, sitting at $16.71 right now. And you know what? I think that we're going to see some great results here in this country, and I think that that Trump is going to do just fine. I think the coin will. I'm not investing, and I'm holding 100 still of the Trump coin. I got in. Fortunately, no insider information. I just saw the tweet an hour after it came out. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy a little bit of this. But the things that he's doing for this country, I think, really bode well for people's trust in him. And now they're talking about Elon floated this idea of, from all of the billions that they're identifying as waste, giving 20% of that back to the taxpayers, so that if you are a tax-paying citizen, you would get a check for $5,000. I mean, how quickly will that change the minds of so many people that have been suffering? That if you're in North Carolina, you got a $700 loan, while your house is wrecked. If you're in California, you got nothing when your house is wrecked from the insurance companies or the government. And $5,000 would mean a lot to a lot of
$5,000 would mean like $1.9 trillion in additional issues, right? And so I think that
it's 72 tax-paying homes,
right?
So I think it's a little bit more conservative than that.
Yeah,
okay, that's the number that I saw. But are they going to go out and save $10 trillion? Probably not, right? So will it be 5,000? Probably not that high of a number. But even if it was 1,500, like what happened in with COVID, right? If you'd have taken that 1,500, your COVID money, your stimmy cash, and put it in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was $4,000.
$4,000. Remember that?
Yeah, Bitcoin was like $4,000 when they launched that $1,200 stimmy
we were
or
sheltering in
whatever.
place. It was $4,000.
Yeah, you would have got yourself 0.25 Bitcoin. That dividend, that stimmy would have been $25K if you would have held on to it in Bitcoin.
Give me my stimmy.
The former presidential candidate, Andrew Yang, he was proposing something that he would call the freedom dividend, which was his brand against the universal basic income. When we look at the benefits of automation technology, all things blockchain and crypto, all things AI, it's very likely that there'll be some sort of universal maximum income that allows people to have all their needs met in the future. Things like a $5,000 dividend is probably a little baby step, whether it's 5,000 or 1,500, doesn't matter. It's a little baby step in moving toward implementing something like a universal income, support system for Americans. And for Americans, the way Andrew would frame it is like, hey, we're all citizens of this country. This country is super wealthy. We're printing out unlimited amounts of money to do foreign aid. We should do things for ourselves and then have that money feed back into the economy. I think there'll be lots of creative things like this $5,000 Doge dividend that will be implemented over time. And it's going to be a matter of trying different things and seeing what hits and what's duplicatable and what was just a moment or maybe a bad decision. But there has to be room for bad decisions around these things as, those in governance try to figure this out.
Now, they said no central bank digital currencies. Trump's outlawed that. Now, it would almost seem, though, that coming up with money out of thin air would almost be, that's what crypto does. Magical internet money. It pulls out of thin air. And I think a lot of times the central bank digital currencies people have problems with is, oh, it's programmable. Oh, you can't use it within X amount of miles from your home. It can expire. And so there's just a lot of nefarious things. When you start talking about a universal basic income or a universal maximum income, which I've not heard that term before, but you got all your bills and needs met. Like, what is going to happen with AI? Freaking automating everything, and we're going to need to have gaming economies where people are so good at playing games, like you're making money and credits with that. Like, we're going to get into an earning credit system somehow. It seems like there's going to be an evolution over these next 5 years, 10 years. Like, if you're talking 2035, where we are with robotics and AI and crypto. And dude, I mean, we were talking to some really smart people yesterday on a Mario space, and dude, they're saying AGI is 18 months away. Artificial general intelligence is 18 months away. He goes, that's a very conservative guess.
It's very conservative.
And I was like, well, what about ASI? because ASI is artificial super intelligence. That's like the collective of all humans, all their intelligence, like master control on Tron. And like, we're less than 5 years away from that. Like,
Well, I think of AGI as the 99-yard line and ASI as the touchdown. So it's not as though it takes 18 months or much quicker to get to AGI and then another 4 years to get to ASI. Once you hit AGI, if it happens, by the way, right? Everything is there's always these big extreme views of where we're going, and we aren't sure that's where we're going. We aren't sure that AGI is going to happen and that it's going to function the way that people imagine. You know, we have so many things in our head because of science fiction books and movies and TV shows. So we'll see what happens. But if we hit AGI, ASI is likely just a day or a week or a month behind it because of how AGI will implement the acceleration toward that. You know, I've been working in AI dev for over 10 years. And I remember working on the first Alexa in 2014 and trying to figure out how to do apps for that or do apps for Siri. And, you know, a lot of my AI integration and the work that we were doing at my companies was all around voice technology. Now you look at like what Grok 3 has just done. Grok 3 drops. It's a legitimate competitor to every other one out there. And now they're rolling out the voice. Now they're rolling out, they have the #1 app right now, free app. So we are on a train that keeps moving faster and faster and faster. And it feels like it's turned itself into a rocket ship and there's no telling how far it will go. The one thing I hang my hat on is that I believe future automation is peaceful and productive. So I'm not afraid of it. I don't think bad things are going to happen because of it. When I think about the future of automation, I look at all of the past innovations that humans have done throughout, you know, many generations, and it always seems to work for good for humanity. We've never destroyed ourselves. We've never had any of these technologies we've created, crush us. We haven't dropped a nuclear bomb on the world and killed everyone. I anticipate that AI, crypto, these different automation technologies will be used for the good of humanity. So I have a very, I'm oriented toward like, this is going to be great. People are going to be freed up to do things that humans are supposed to do, teach and learn and promote and create art and not be driving cars or wasting time with spreadsheets. So I have a very optimistic view of where things are going.
I appreciate that optimism. Yeah. And, you know, we talked a lot about the negativity in the meme coin space, but let's talk about some of the positivity. And one of the reasons that we're glad that you're here with us today, because we have a story to tell about a meme coin called Kikicat, Kikicat, and kikicat.xyz is the website. I want to hear your story about this project and why you're so excited about it.
So the story goes like this. I have a handful of business partners around the world through Middle East, Europe, Asia, and I'm here in the States. And I did 250,000 miles on flights last year, stayed in like 150 hotels. So I was all over the world building one of my companies. And in that process, we started having this conversation about the brokenness of memes. And, you know, sometimes you have conversations like, this is broken, this is lame, look at all these bad things that are happening. And then hopefully these types of conversations you have with peers lead to, so what do we do about it? So what's the solution? So we thought the solution was to find an existing intellectual property with mass community that was already built around it. So when we found the Kiki Giphy, there are now 11.6 billion uses of our Kikicat. When we acquired that intellectual property, it was a 7-figure acquisition to acquire that outright so that we can make video games, merch, fast food restaurant integrations, NFTs, meme coins, etc. So when we acquired the IP, we were very slow about how we did things. We worked on a strategy and had a team of a couple dozen, really thinking, okay, if we want to create a new narrative, and the narrative is IP meme, a meme that is built by a team that owns the intellectual property, because we were concerned. The peanut meme, that was not the owner of the squirrel that was murdered, wasn't involved. You have Chill Guy, the guy's not involved. He threw up flags, said, I'm not into this. This is not okay. So you have all these different memes that have done well, but they are not done with integrity because the person launching the project doesn't own the meme. And you see this in recent lawsuits. Yeah, this is our Kiki on the screen. And so why do people love Kiki? Why has it been shared over 10 billion times? Because when a human being feels emotion, they're happy, they're sad, they're excited, they're enraged, rather than writing, I'm so mad, I'm so happy, they just grab a Kiki and they post that. And so throughout SMS, throughout social media, this has been used 11.6 billion times. So we acquired this. We decided that the first step we were going to take was to launch an IP meme and to build a new narrative that we're launching a meme for an existing community. Now, 90 or so percent of our usage is in Asia. This is why we have so many people that are part of our tokenized community in all over Asia and Southeast Asia, most specifically, is because these people already are used to this. They're using Kikis every single day to express themselves. So when they
We
see
write Kiki. We write Kiki a lot.
yes, they do. Yes, they do. And a lot of them are tuned in right now. It's a little late for them. Poor Asia. It's 1:04 a.m. for my friends in Seoul, and midnight for most of Southeast Asia. But they're here listening and watching us, and they're celebrating. So this is a chance for people to put Kiki eyes on. We have a really cool AI meme generator, so people can basically type something in like they would Midjourney. It'll pop out. I think we had like 100,000 Kiki memes created in the last week. So there's an existing Kiki community that's already in place. We don't have to build it. We acquired the IP that this community is built around. We then launch a tokenized community so that they can gravitate towards something. So when our chart, we hit 10 million the first day and over 100 million the first week, and then we've gone up and down the chart and all around. When we have things that go radical on the chart, I'm not really shaken because I understand that we have an existing community and that community is already committed to Kiki, and now they're finding new ways to be part of it. So a lot of these things are like, which type of direction are you taking? Gambling and speculative investing? Are you the meme of the hour? Are you the meme of the day? Or are you building a legitimate community or catalyzing an existing community and then creating some medium by which they can say, raise their hand, I'm part of this. Look, I'm part of this. Here's proof. I have Kiki tokens. I'm part of this. Here's proof. I just put Kiki eyes on my picture, right? So this is the type of thing that has been a lot of fun for us to do. We have 16 video games that we have scheduled to come out. The first one will come out in less than a month. We have multiple fast food restaurants we've done Kiki burgers with. No, it's not cat meat, Travis. And the first one happened in Italy with the Sheep community. Shaitoshi is a friend and a partner what we're doing, and he was just on Mario in the Fall with Travis and I recently talking about that. So we have wonderful partners, an incredible team. We have an indefinite view. We're only here to pump. There will be no dump. We've never sold a token up to this point. I think it's a very safe environment to not only participate in the asset, but also participate in the community. It's fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of joy. Kiki makes people smile.
That's really nice. And so I love that what you were talking about, the IP meme coins, because it's a new sort of way. I think we saw that with Pudgy Penguins, sort of taking their IP and drop a meme coin. That's cool. And then people, there's been all these dogs, but there hasn't been a whole lot of cats. There's been Pop Cat and Simon's Cat or some other stuff, but there's not been a lot of cats. Cats are beloved all over Asia. Like Hello Kitty is probably one of the most known brands and entities in that whole space. And so you mentioned that there's game, you have 16 games and other stuff sort of coming out. So maybe loop back on that and give us a lowdown of what does the future roadmap look like on this thing, and what can people expect on their road to becoming a Kikillionaire?
Yeah, Kikillionaire. That's right. Okay, well, I'll break it down slowly. So first of all, Kiki, the first thing we did was an IP meme. So in order to be faithful to the community that's trusted us to participate in our tokenized community, it's important to us that over time we scale the value of the market cap and we sustain that value. Now, there'll be hurdles and bumps in the road, but we are committed to ensuring that over the arc of time that asset increases in value based on the other things that we do. And we believe that asset will have value not just because people have faith in the Kiki token, but because the IP that's attached to it. The second thing that's in place for us specifically is things like gaming. So we have 16 games we're working on. One of our partners has a gaming studio with 60 employees out of Bulgaria, and so he already had a lot of these games developed, and now he's just more or less private labeling these games with the Kiki asset. The first game will go live, we believe, March 15th. There'll be a Kiki token integration, so people will be able to do some of the gaming and leverage some of their tokens and grow their pile of tokens in that regard. Yes, this is our metaverse. So you see the board apes up on there. You see our casino girl and the Kiki cat dancing. And so this is part of the Sachi metaverse that was already in place. My partner Todor and his team had built. What you see in the middle is one of our games. It's a rocket ship game. Let's say 30 people play. You all fly up in the air. People start to eject. The last person to eject before everybody blows up, that's the winner. And so, you can imagine there's some fun and anxiety building element to that, because you want to be the last person to bail. You don't want to blow up and lose everything. And so the gaming aspect is important, because when we look at 90% of our current community being in Asia, we recognize that a lot of the memes out there are American oriented. There's not a lot that have been wildly successful in Asia. So we're now creating something that can satisfy that market need. And then also, people in Asia, they want to play games on their phone. They want to play games on their Game Boy or their computer or their tablet. And so we're creating something that they can do that through cloud gaming. And we're creating something that allows them to have fun. There's all sorts of different integrations we're able to do with the Kiki token. So those are two things, right? Make sure that what we've already created maintains, grows, and sustains value, and make sure we create amazing things for token integration, so that there feels like there's a sense of utility to the token besides just holding it. There's more, but I'll pause for a moment.
I really like this idea of, IP based coins, because there's a there. So many of the coins that are being created on Solana, especially via Pump Fun, are just these, hey, we're going to try and grab lightning in a bottle meme coin. And let's face it, how many meme coins have actually stayed in the top 100, right? Doge, Shiba, Pepe, Trump now. There's, a couple others, but the vast majority of them are scams, are rug pulls, or are just going to fail for lack of interest, because there's no reason for them to exist other than trying to connect to something that's happening in pop culture. But Murad, who's become a voice in the meme coin space, says that you have to have a cult-like mentality and a cult-like group of people that are behind a project for it to succeed. And you guys are building that. So how many wallets are holding Kiki now, and how active is the community?
So we have about 20,000 committed holders, and I say committed because they've maintained their position in the tokenized community through the ups and downs. So about 10,000 on the DEX, and about 10,000 throughout. I think we're on 7 or so centralized exchanges. The activity is pretty low, but the activity is pretty low on just about every tokenized community right now, outside of the token of the hour. So that doesn't really overly concern us. I get reports every single day. Oftentimes I get reports twice a day. And when I get the reports from my team based on the blockchain data, what's happening in terms of volume and wallets holding and whales exiting and new whales coming in, et cetera, for the most part, I'm quite happy with where we stand. So, people can take a look at that. There's no hiddenness. We're very transparent, very authentic, right? I am an American willing to say, hey, I'm the CEO of this project. 2 of my partners, one is Todor in Bulgaria and Europe. He's our chief creative, and then our chief marketing officer has 17 million TikTok followers in Southeast Asia. So the 3 of us, we have a lot to lose. Like we have Todor and I, we have 25-year business reputation where we've built a reputation by our repetition of how we act and operate. And all it would take is for this to become a stain on our reputation that would impact the next 25 years. So we're very thoughtful that we chose to be known and doxed as the public leaders of this project, because it would provide confidence and stability to the market. And so when people start fearing this or being concerned about that, it's like, well, Ian and Todor are still on here and James is still on. I mean, they're not quitting. I guess I'll stick with these guys as they go through the different ups and downs of the market. But again, I mentioned the fun. one of the things that Murad talks about is a cult-like following. I think it's important that the community that has this cult-like passion and enthusiasm also has fun together. And so things like gaming or things like our AI meme generator or our weekly competitions that we're doing, we're constantly giving away bags of Kiki to people that are interacting. Like these make things fun, and people are looking for something to do. Even if you're an athlete, you can only play a sport so much. Even if you're a public speaker or a podcaster, you can only jump on and talk so much. Like we need other outlets for connection. And the final thing I'll say on this topic of cult-like community is I want everyone to really realize all currencies are faith-based. Every single one of them. The dollar and the pound and the yen, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Kiki are all faith-based instruments for one purpose: to hold and store value and to exchange value with others. Whether I'm exchanging value with an organization or with a person like Joel, or whether Travis's company is exchanging value with another organization, the purpose of a currency is so humans and organizations can exchange value with one another. And the value exchange is based on faith. And so we have 20,000 faith-based holders of the Kiki token, just as the world has billions of faith-based holders in the meme coin called the US dollar.
Preach, brother. Amen.
And I don't know if it should be overly oriented toward cult. That's kind of a weird word. I could probably be a pretty good cult leader if I really wanted to. I'm pretty persuasive. But what I do like the idea of is that people gather around something and are part of a community, and they want to be part of it for an extended or indefinite period of time, and that they go on the ride with us, not just so that we take them to the moon, but so that we all get this rocket ship out of the atmosphere together. That even the person that just jumped in and just posted something on X feels like, oh wow, look, that was something that was so fun about the Bored Ape movement, right? When you bought an ape 3 years ago, like immediately you got 1,000 followers, you're locked in with people. It's like, I'm part of something, I belong. We want people to feel that type of enthusiasm when they participate with our tokenized community, that they're part of something.
Yeah, dude, that was part of their whole identity. A lot of these people, even still, it's just like, I'm Bored Ape 3729. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. But what did mean to them was that, boom, they got dropped a lot of ape coin. They got a mutant ape dropped to them. They got some other stuff. So are there going to be some mechanics like that? Like, is there going to be some, you got Kiki, is there going to be NFTs maybe down the road? Is there going to be some things that you're going to get dropped along the way? Maybe if you're like you hold X amount of Kiki, then you're one of the top 1,000, so you get an NFT or something. I mean, I know you don't have to talk about specifics, but what are some of the things you're maybe thinking about in the roadmap for that?
Yeah, so in line with what you said, this is not a commitment and this is not specific, but yes, we're definitely tossing ideas around. What we have already done is we did create 100 one-of-one tokens. We had 100 of the Bored Apes that are part of Bored Apes Ventures invest in the Kiki project day one. And those 100 Bored Apes, in order to tell them thank you in a tangible way, we took their profile picture, we put Kiki eyes on it, we put a Kiki on their shoulder that had that kind of looked like them. And so that went really, really well. Not only did we honor those that supported us day one, but they in turn told the world, like, look at my new one-of-one NFT. So that was our first step into NFTs, was almost like a soul-bound token, or at least it's kind of soul-bound to their asset. What's next is a number of things. We do intend to benefit the community for those that are holding Kiki. Now, one of our first thoughts is to do that with our gaming system, right? That people get access to special things around gaming because they hold a certain amount of Kiki. But yes, as we start to develop things like NFT projects, and as we start to do this, we want to ensure that those that have trusted us and have joined our journey and been on it, that they benefit. Now, we're not making any promises at this present moment as I'm speaking, but we will. What I want the community to know is we will treat you right. We will take care of you. We will do all that we can that's within reason to reciprocate your loyalty to us. We will also give loyalty back to you. And what you're mentioning in this regard is an example of that.
I got to tell you, your website looks beautiful.
It's
nice.
nice.
It's so cute, so very well done. It's got the nice little subtle animations. I mean, this is a top tier meme coin website right here.
Yeah, we're really proud of it. One thing that's been interesting when we launched, we really wanted to peg the Kiki token on Solana to a bunch of other chains. We wanted to have Kiki on Base. We wanted to be on Abstract and Ape Chain and Polygon and Ethereum and etc. Um, it's just so silly how hard some of this technology is. Like when we try to peg it so that the price is the same, it just seems like it's not even worth the effort until we get to a certain level. So the reason I'm saying that is this is a very, very cute initial minimal viable token launch. We consider this to be we're in day one infancy. We're an infant. We're not a toddler. We're certainly not an adolescent project. We just have the benefit of great parents, right? That's our Giphy.
You're not a kitten anymore.
We're not a kitten anymore.
You're not a kitten. You're a full grown ass kitty. Kikicat.xyz is the website. You guys can go here. You can find out how to DYOR, do your own research, of course, learn more about the coin, find the token, where to buy it, utility, rewards, sustainability, how to get into the community through all these different venues, check out some of the upcoming game concepts, and find out how to buy it. Oh, get the filter, because I did it. You should Kiki yourself as well. So thanks for coming on and sharing the Kikicat journey with us.
Yeah. And before we end up, we always want to throw it back to you and be like, what other call to action would you like to have for the community? Where would you like people to connect with you? And what else would you maybe like to have people know about Kiki?
Well, we're very active on X. I am, our main account is, and some of my partners. I think the first thing I'd invite people to, if they're not part of Kiki, is check out what we're doing. Like, use our AI meme generator. Maybe jump in and join a contest. You don't own Kiki? Join one of the contests. Put Kiki eyes on, or use the meme generator, or jump into something we're doing. Maybe you'll win a free bag of Kiki. And for those that are already part of our community, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your participation. We are not creating this for you. You are co-creating this with us. And we value each and every single one of you.
I love it. And I actually just created one using your bot. Let's see if I can pull my screen up here real quick.
We see it. I'm eager to see how you kikied yourself.
No, I kikied Dave Portney.
Okay, that's even better. I was like, no, Travis, not kinky myself. That puts chains and whips on you. No, kiki yourself.
Yeah. Well, it'll be the thumbnail, I think, for this particular episode. I had one Kiki as a podcaster, and then now I put Dave Portney. He's got his little hoodie on, eating some pizza. So it's a little shout out to him and his greed. But it was nice. There's a little football going on in the background. Dude, I tell you, it's a fun app. Those types of projects that are meme coins that have a Telegram bot or AI bot of some sort that can generate images, that makes it fun. It just levels up the overall engagement and fun for the show. So we really appreciate it, Ian. Thank you so much for being on and talking about Kiki. And we'll be sharing this over the next few episodes as well, so people can learn about the gospel of Kiki. Thanks for coming on and sponsoring the show. It's really nice chatting with you. And not only that, but you're just a good friend. We've known you now for what, 5 years or so?
Yeah. We've had a lot of fun together.
We go way back. Yeah, I remember before me all the shit coins. Yeah.
They were the NFT shit coins.
Just a little interesting piece of breaking news. Of course, Trump called Zelensky a dictator last night on Truth Social. So in true I'm not a dictator fashion, Ukraine is blocking Truth Social right now. So no, he's not a dictator.
Very undictatory.
We're just
totally not dictatorial, like, because I mean they don't like elections or anything.
No,
that's crazy.
Oh, I should mention one other thing, gentlemen. Travis, you and I are on Mario's Roundtable next Wednesday, the 26th, noon Eastern. Mm-hmm. So that's a chance for people to hear the two of us chit chat and have fun. And then I have our friends from Mixie, David, coming on to the Kiki Corner on Sunday, which is at 10 a.m. Eastern. Beautiful. So those are a couple fun things, but I'm going to be jumping on Spaces almost every day for the next month. I lined a lot of things up to ensure that I could jump on and be present and be available to our community in this fashion.
That is community commitment. Anything else, Sir Lord Travis?
Yeah, we're going to do an AMA with you guys and more of your team at the end in about 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
And leading up to that, I think we're going to have a giveaway of some Kiki tokens as well. So as we're loading up to that and getting towards that, so pay attention to what's going on here. It's one of those fun ones, dude. And think about it, Asia loves this kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is big. If you know what was big with, Hello Kitty, Kiki could be another big thing. Dude, already 11 billion. You can't fake the funk on that. That's a straight up dunking on people.
Since we launched at just under 10 billion, and now we're at 11.6. So we're continuing to grow. There's more and more engagement. Pudgy.
By the way, do you guys have like a Telegram stickers for Kiki too?
We do. We have Telegram stickers. We have a ton. We keep coming out with new Giffies. Keep dropping them on the channel. In fact, one of our new things is inviting the community to create their own Giffies, and then basically taking Giffies that have been created by the community and implementing those on Giphy. And just imagine you're some kid from Southeast Asia, you make $10 a day at minimum wage, you fool around, make a Giphy, all of a sudden it's on there and your Giphy's being used hundreds of thousands, millions of times. Like, what a special opportunity to give a young creative person without many options of success globally to feel like, oh, this is my light at the end of the tunnel. So we're trying to create lots of lights at the end of the tunnel for people to attach themselves to being committed to what we're doing.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you, and we appreciate all of you watching, sharing, liking, re-Xing, and subscribing to the podcast, the Bad Crypto Podcast, in Apple Podcasts and Google Play, also on Spotify and iHeartRadio. Follow us at Bad Crypto Pod on the X, as well as at TW and at Joel Comm. And we will catch you guys next go around every Tuesday and Thursday live. Bad Crypto X, Mixing Media, and the podcast. Until then, stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.